guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the TD Podcast. My name's Krowgar, and today I have...
I'm Colby.
I'm Token.
And this is the meat and potatoes of the podcast. Now, hey, just a little disclaimer. Token's new.
I'm extremely new.
He's extremely new. He's friends of Colby.
He's a virgin.
Is he a virgin? Are you a virgin?
I will not disclose that.
He's an official virgin.
Anyway, I'm gonna do the big thing.
We need the thingy to happen.
Woo! Yay!
He's been bipped.
He's been bipped.
Woo!
Token is
I've
now...
been
He's been bipped.
Now, if nobody knows what I mean by bipped, and Colby means by bipped, and what Token might mean by bipped, is Token's now an official member. And the reason this is because we need Token to be an official member to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just fucking bullshit. Because it's like, that means then we can have Benny on, that means we can have Lawrence on.
That means we can have everybody, and we can't do that.
I don't want that. I don't want everybody in here. It sounds awful.
We like Benny.
She's on. She's on.
Other people.
She's on.
Oh, is it? Okay.
She's on. Yep.
Speaking,
She's away.
Speaking of the devil, we have another clan member who is supposed to join us, but she was late and
Probably won't.
Will show
Yeah,
up.
she probably won't.
Hopefully. Otherwise, Sierra,
Fine.
if you can make it, that'd be cool. If you can't, then you can't. It's fine. Whatever.
You're just gay.
Yeah, you're just gay, fam. I don't know what to tell you. I told her to meet in the coffee shop. I'm gonna get a text that's gonna be like, yo, no one's in there. I'll be like, that's not the point. Go the fuck in there.
Damn.
Because as soon as she goes in there, then I can move her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Coffee shop.
Well, that worked. Cafe shop.
Anyway, do you guys have any stories?
Well,
Dude.
what do you mean by stories? You got to be a bit more specific.
Any stories?
All right. Well, in my freshman year of high school, a couple weeks before Halloween, I got a morph suit, right, which is basically an all black bodysuit that I can see through. Then I got a hot dog costume, right? And my idea was that
I remember this. No.
It's a wonderful story.
We got
I
a
enjoy
man
it.
on the inside.
So across the street was a restaurant. I went into that restaurant. Right, I went in the bathroom of that restaurant. I changed into my morph suit and hot dog, and walked out. So basically, I went in fully clothed, came out hot dog, and then I walked across the street into my school, put down my backpack.
I just want to say
this
happened at a Denny's. Out of every place, it was a Denny's.
Yeah, I walked across the street to Denny's, changed, came back, and I walked in. And I walk over to my girlfriend at the time, and I just put my hand on her shoulder, and I go, "Hey," and she looks at me and goes, "Go away." She wasn't happy to see me. So
texted me and said she'll be in there soon because her laptop is being stupid, and I responded with 200 plus hours of The Sims.
I know. I wonder why.
So what I did for the rest of lunch was I found out that the floors, when I run and slide on them, I'm slippery. The morph suit is the way it is. So how I spent that entire lunch was hauling down the hallway and just hitting the ground and seeing how far I can launch myself. I got a lot of pictures taken of me. People loved it.
Yep.
I did it my sophomore year. But with a banana.
And that's how legends are born, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the best. I remember that too. Like
First,
it was just
he's doing that
yesterday.
in freshman year. Second, he's getting kicked out of PAX East.
PAX West?
PAX East, West, yeah, that. I plan on doing that with you at some point. I want to go to fucking convention with Colby. Just because
that would be great.
Dude,
that would be so fun.
TwitchCon, VidCon,
dude,
PAX.
no, but the problem is that if I went with Colby, that means that I'd also have to like rent him a motel and like find a place for him to sleep.
Yeah.
And that probably means it's gonna be in the same building as me, which I don't know if I can handle sleeping in the same building as Colby.
I've slept in the same room as you.
Yeah, I know, but you were like heavily sedated. So that's how I can do that.
Alright, That is fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Colby was
We
not,
could do that again too.
Colby was not getting up anytime soon.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't cognitive.
Um,
I was there for a while.
for a while.
For a while.
For like 10 minutes, and then he died. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so Sierra has been playing The Sims okay, so The Sims 3 is weird. When you launch the game, it launches the launcher for the game, and then that will stay open forever. And unless you like exit out of it, which is stupid. Because nobody remembers to close like a whole second fucking launcher just for The Sims. It's fucking that is stupid as shit. Like, I get Origin because Origin has other games. It's The Sims 3. It's only The Sims 3. So
yeah.
My guess is she wasn't actually having The Sims on for that long, but that launcher being open for that long is
her
still
people
probably...
weren't running around for 15 days.
No, but that would have been fucking hilarious.
That would have been great.
But I think her launcher was just open, and it totally trashed her fucking Steam hours.
It's 200 plus hours. She had it open for 15 days straight.
I don't know how her computer didn't explode.
I think she had
Her
it
CPU needs to be scrubbed.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of things that are probably gonna need to be scrubbed on that computer. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her computer. She has had fuck with it so many times that she tells me it's like not even her. She doesn't even know how the fucking thing works anymore.
Dang.
But
he put something on there that wasn't Google, and she's like, I don't know how this works.
She
and
had,
we just go, it's dumb, remove it.
She had an extension that just made it so she couldn't connect to the fucking Google for some reason.
He probably like wanted something like that was like Tor or DuckDuckGo for some reason.
I don't fucking know.
Because he's weird like that. Because he's a TF tuber.
I don't know. I couldn't fucking tell you, but like I was like, what thing do you think is stopping it? And she's like, I don't know, it's this. And then I was like, right click it and then click remove. And then she removed it and she could fucking connect to Google again. It was super fucking weird.
It was dumb. Her ex-boyfriend's gay.
Yeah. He was on the podcast. I've probably mentioned that a couple of times.
Yeah, he was in season 1.
He was in season one
for half an episode.
He didn't get his username didn't get announced. I made sure that that part of the podcast was muted, so he didn't get any clout.
Oof.
If you fucking hear me, you fucking asshole. Fuck you. You're staying in season 1.
Gaylord.
And if you don't want to be in season 1, I will take the 5 minutes that it'll take me to take you out because you were only there for like 2.
That's just sad.
I could take what? Fucking I'll fucking download the episode and then I'll go through the fucking I'll take 5 minutes out of my day to remove you out of a fucking. You didn't even say your name because I fucking cut it out because I hate you.
Jeez.
I don't hate a lot
it's like
of.
A flat out, it's just a flat out death of threat. Just I hate you.
I don't hate a lot of old clan members. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
And was a clan member.
Oh.
What?
Oh boy. I actually there's a friend. I have a friend now that goes to my high school, and he went to Zach's high school, and I said Zach's name. And he was like, wait, I know that guy. And I go, you poor thing.
What's the kid's name? Wait, don't say it out loud. Like, don't say it both. Yeah, just say it both. I'll edit it out.
His name is
him?
Fucking token now.
Him?
Yeah, his name's
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably either went to New Urban or...
He went to New Urban, I believe. Because
Ryan, good luck with editing.
I know, right?
Didn't get a first and last name. I just got a first name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could be a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I'm not gonna edit shit. As far as I'm concerned, that's just his name. Like that'd literally be me. Like, oh hey Kelsey. Like I could say that name. There's so many Kelseys in this fucking world. But if I said Kelsey. You're a fucking bitch. I'm gonna have to edit. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
I have. Oh, she's in there.
What up, Sierra?
Hey.
Hey, Gaylord.
Is my fucking headset working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay.
Dude,
Dope.
welcome to season 2.
We've been talking shit.
Yeah, what
we
kind
were
of shit?
like about
That was so my favorite kind of shit.
We literally went into season 2 talking shit.
I want to say for at least like 7-8 minutes straight.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I think you guys hate him more than I've known anybody to.
We try.
Okay, Token, so you wanted to talk about how together of a community we've been.
Which is the gayest thing I've heard.
It's okay.
Well, screw you.
Dude, no, I was telling Token, I was like, we have to segregate the people like this. We have the gay, and that's me. And then we have the female, which is Sierra. Sorry, fam.
I mean, I kind of thought I was the gay, but okay.
Well,
Gay female.
It's more or less charismatic female that make funny. And that was Vic, and now it's you.
Charismatic female that make funny.
You have a lot of a legacy to carry on, Sierra. And then we got Republican. I hate to break it to you, Kobe.
Yeah.
You very much have a mindset about you that is
I'm strongly opinionated.
Yeah, you are.
that.
I'm also a douchebag.
And then we have the person who has their head on straight, which I figured was Token, but I'm not sure anymore.
It's Token.
It's Token? Okay, it's Token.
It's me. It's
Alright,
me.
It's Token.
He's kind of dumb, but that's okay.
Excuse me.
Head on straight.
You're pretty dumb, home dog.
What was I gonna say? Anyway, you can talk about how together we've been.
Well, I mean, me, Cole, and Ryan have been watching iCarly for the past month?
For like the past week, every night we've been watching iCarly for like hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, just about.
We're
just
almost to
about.
season 2.
Yeah, it's so great. It's like a great thing to chill out with the rest of your day. You get home from work or school or something, and you're always just chilling. Some good old iCarly.
I mean, it's
I
a
live a
fucking
normal life.
classic.
Dude,
Little do people know I watch iCarly every night.
Dude, literally, when I don't know what started it. Me and Caesar have been joking about iCarly. Yeah, me and Caesar have been joking about iCarly for like months. Like we'd been joking, we'd be singing that song and being like, haha, it's funny. And then one day the joke went a little too far, and Colby's like, I don't know how it came down to it, but one second I was looking at my web browser, and another second I was watching all of iCarly. And then
we were.
and then
No,
I had
it was
messaged
Discord
Token,
Live came
or
out.
I messaged
Yes,
one of
it was
and
Discord Live.
I was like, I figured out, or I got iCarly. Let me know if
Yeah.
you want to watch it.
And I was like, I wanted to watch it really badly, and then it just so happened Token came in and he was like, hey, by the way.
No. It was you guys peer pressured me into watching it at first. You guys kept on adding me.
Because
You
it's
were like,
iCarly.
yeah, you guys kept on adding me like, come on, I know you want to. And then I finally went, screw it.
Dude, oh, I can't say that story. Nah, fuck it. Welcome to season 2. I got Tanis's mom.
Oh
no! Wait, I have straight up an hour recording of her talking to us while she was out of her mind.
I think she was drunk. I don't think she but I like to believe
Well, she did a little.
I like to believe she did a little bit. Colby, do you want to play? Do you have those audio clips?
Not on hand.
Not on hand.
No.
Do you want to root through and see if you can find like a little bit of just a clip?
just a small little guy.
Just a small little
Sure,
clip.
I'll start looking.
I've also been recording some of our Kylie sessions, and we come up with some fucking gold.
And she's gone?
Why did she?
Why?
You good?
Why'd you do that?
Sarah?
I don't know what I did there.
What the fuck? I feel it.
I went to click on the coffee shop to see like who all was in the call, cause you know last time I was in the call like showed everybody and shit. But I went to click on the thing.
We're in the studio. Scroll all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Because
that-
I
It's a
clicked
new
it to
section.
look at everybody, and then it just like switched me, and I was just like, wait.
Yeah, so
Oi.
I made a separate section, so I have you guys join the coffee shop, and then I grab you and I pull you into here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just to help
I've-
keep people
I've,
out and stuff. Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion. I have give or take 60 plus audio files that are unlabeled. So no.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm not fighting Tannis's mom.
I have so many fucking VB fucking audio clips that I don't even have like labeled.
Oh, I have a couple labeled, but those are just meme ones.
Okay, I have like a fucking ton. What am I fucking? I just have shitloads of fucking audio that I don't even know what it goes to, what it does.
Ryan, do you remember the story to whoa pussy?
we
you
were,
remember the story
we
of
were
that one?
literally just I was making noises and you were recording me. Right? That's what it was. And then what? We started just making a shitload of fucking noises, recording them, and then playing back
Yeah.
to each other, making more noises. So, like, Colby would say something, or he'd be making noises, and I'd record it. And then I'd play it back to him, and then he'd record it while I'd be making noises through my mic. And then it would just stack up a shitload of this fucking garbage noise.
In case anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, it's this.
Whoa, pussy!
That's the whole thing. It's give or take a minute. I mean, give or take a second. And it's just that.
Whoa, pussy.
Yeah. And we also have the world's famous uwe.
Ooh-wee!
So basically, over time, I've come to discover that Ryan can be a goat.
Yeah. Dude, he used to make those noises in high school, but for some reason this kid thought it was like bird noises, and he started calling him Birdman. And I'm like, those aren't bird noises.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that kid was a fucking cunt. You called him out that one time because he like fucking just randomly like tackled you and put you in a fucking chokehold. He broke away and you yelled at him and called him a cunt.
I pulled a knife on him.
Yeah, he was a fucking piece
Hold
of
that.
shit.
Yo, no, I came to fucking, I'd come to school with like ice, like like I'd come to school with like a thermos, like a green thermos, and I'd pour water in it and I'd freeze it, and then I'd go to school the next day, and if he came,
Used it as a blunt force object.
I hit him with it one time, and I told him that if he ever came at me in the morning, that I would be ready with my ice brick. And then he never came at me during the morning, but when the night came, when it got closer towards third period, the ice had started to kind of melt. And then at one point he even took the fucking thermos and I couldn't find it, and I freaked out a little bit. And then I was like, whatever, I'll just come to school with a knife. And then I came to school
my
with a
ice
knife.
block?
He put me in a chokehold or whatever, and I pulled out the knife and he dropped me entirely and screamed illegal and ran away.
Illegal. Illegal. Yum. That's it.
you saw the dust from how fast he ran.
Illegal. Yeah, that kid was a fucking shit. It's cool
I
because
swear
when he
he put
wasn't
you-
being a fucking weird ass piece of shit, he was a pretty cool guy. Like, we talk about fucking
Yeah.
Cave Story and shit.
I remember that was the thing, was you guys were like friends, but then he'd always like be like, he was always like trying to get fucking physical with you, and it was like you could tell he was kind of being playful, but he was going the complete wrong way about it. Like the time I saw him put you in a chokehold, it was literally just 100% random. You were it was during lunch. You were walking down the
I
hall,
do that all
and he
the
just
time.
ran up behind you and
Especially
fucking
with
just
me.
wrapped his arm around your neck and put you in a fucking chokehold. I'm like, oh, okay.
I came to the conclusion if me and Colby went to school together, we'd get into probably a lot of physical fights.
Dude,
Probably.
Colby all the time in the morning.
Oh,
well,
like
at least-
every day I'll do
Yeah.
something to Joa.
yeah,
every day.
even if it's just kind of like a small little head smack, if it's a full-on
I'll
chokehold.
slam my hands on his shoulders and be like, "Hey, buddy."
and I always knew who it was just because it was always something different, but I could tell
just
by his
walk up and
hands.
smack his chest.
Me and Colby went to school together. We'd leave school with bruises and bumps.
Straight I'd punch right into the nose, and he'd sock me in the jaw, and we'd leave.
Dude, no, I had some fucking funny. There's this one time someone. Do you remember?
I don't think I
The
remember
tall
him.
blonde kid. You probably weren't going there at the time, but
Probably not.
there was one time he said something and he pissed me off, and he was sitting right next to me, and I don't know what he said, but he said it, and I shrugged it off, and they said it again, shrugged it off, and then said it again, and I was like, all right, I just want to do this to get him to shut the fuck up, and then I dove out of my chair. Like perfectly sitting. Imagine me sitting in class, hand on chin, bored out of my mind, and then 1 second he says something.
Straight
You get. It's like no. It was like it wasn't even. I wasn't even really that mad. It got to me, but it wasn't like you motherfucker. It wasn't like. It was like. It was like imagine this. I'm sitting there, hand on my face, and I'm like. He says it, and I'm like, whatever. He says it again, I'm like, whatever. He says it, and then I take a deep breath, I'm like, and then all of a sudden, it was like, you hear Devin hit the ground, you hear me hit the ground, then you just hear, oh, fuck! Because like I scared him, I guess. And I felt bad.
No, it's literally dead silence, and then all of a sudden you just hear.
You just hear a sigh, and then you hear a struggle, and that's all. There's like Nel was there, and he's kind of doing the lesson, and then he's just.
No, I would love to hear you just hear the inhale and then just.
I can imagine reaction to that.
He's like, hey, cut it out! And then I stood up and I walked back, sat down, and we didn't get into like a bad scuff or anything. I kind of just grabbed his hands, and then that was it. But
like Ryan told you, just you mother.
it's like it wasn't even an anger thing. I just wanted him to leave me the fuck alone. I was like, if I jump at him, I'm either gonna get kicked out of the fucking classroom or he's gonna fucking stop.
Dude, did you see how many times I used to fucking hit, like, in middle school, I used to hit fucking, mostly just to give him shit.
That kid
but
told me he was
also-
scared of you.
He is scared of me. He's been decked by me. Both of his brothers have been decked by me. I've hit him across the face with my phone, and he's also seen me straight up almost knock a guy out with my fucking phone, like a full-grown fucking guy. Like, he was like 19 and I was like 13, and he decided he was gonna try and grope me. So I hit him I went to go and hit him across the face with my phone, and he kind of backed up, and then he went to fucking, I don't remember what the fuck he tried to do to me, but he went to do something to me, and I just fucking lunged at him with my phone. Like, phone in hand.
I imagine she crouches down and then just like frog hops with her arms out, like I'm gonna kick your. Oh man. Oh.
Anytime I think of Sierra throwing a punch, it's not like I think of her throwing a punch and it's cute or
I think it's a straight haymaker. I think it's like a hard haymaker.
I think that fist is hitting that guy in the jaw, and that jaw is going to be no more.
The jaw.
And it's like you don't
Straight
hear
shatters.
you hear like a fucking and then the kid goes down.
you hear the
There's shit. Sierra breaks
Once I throw a
things.
punch, that's the last punch that's fucking thrown.
I guarantee you, Sierra breaks things in every single fight. Not just shit around her,
Honestly,
it's people too.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the sad thing is I've never been in a real fight because usually they
doesn't
like
last
throw
long
a
enough.
punch, and
She was like, I eat
know how
them.
to take a punch. So they throw a punch, and I throw one back, and that's it. And I'm like, well, that was fucking disappointing.
Sierra,
Okay.
I've
you're just
broken
like-
something over somebody before.
You're like,
What?
you're like, I don't get into fights. I murder them.
I murder
I
them.
don't. There's no struggle. There's no fight. It's over. I win.
They don't last long enough
It's
for
so
them to be
disappointing
actual
though.
fights.
It's so like short-lived. Like
They were just bitches. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know.
Oh my fucking god. Sierra, it's
Man,
over.
I
win.
love this.
Oh,
I love
Dude,
this.
fucking Ryan, you remember?
Yeah, I wanted to
You
date
scared
his
me.
girlfriend.
You wanted? Oh yeah, you did want to date his girlfriend.
I did for a very long time.
Ryan, you're like, don't say
Don't
anything.
say the names. Don't say names. You can say. Don't say the girl's name.
Oh yeah, no, we all know the girl's name. Like anyone who went to Rao knows the girl's name.
Facts.
Wait.
But yeah, no, like he's this big, like
Wait.
huge, like typical football player jock dude, and he's fucking scared of me.
What?
Yeah,
I told
because
that kid.
he's seen the same amount of shit that I've seen.
I told
They're
him.
like brothers to me.
I was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know that me and your girl used to have this thing, and he kind of like tried to put up like an act of like I'll kick your ass, or like, well, she's with me now, and I was like,
my only question is, why would you do that though? Why
Because-
would you just
because
flat out
we
to
went-
go up
we-
to someone and be like, yo,
I didn't go
me
up
and
to
your
him.
girlfriend
I
used to have a
messaged him
thing?
because I was going to be going to the same school with the kid. We had classes together, and I didn't want to cause shit. And at the time, I was
okay,
like,
yeah.
I didn't really care. So I'm like, hey man, me and your girl used to have a thing. I just want to keep things between me and you solid, so
That's
that we
terrible,
don't
though.
have any problems. And he kind of put up a wall of like, well, she's with me now, and I was like, yeah, I know, and I'm happy for both of you. And that was like the end of the conversation, and it totally was like, because people most of the time when someone's like, hey, I used to do a thing with your girlfriend, they're expecting like a fight or like an argument or like a confrontation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And I'm just like, hey man, me and your girl used to have a thing, and he's like, yeah, so what? And I'm like, I'm happy for you guys, and I hope things work out beautifully. And then
Ryan bitches himself basically.
I am too nice of a fucking person to just be like, yo, me and your girl used to sting, and my dick was nah, nah. It's like I pop off with like, yo, I'm glad that you're happy and that she's happy too.
The low cute voice, just
Because at the time
hey.
I didn't want to get with the girl. It was like at the time I was even in a relationship, but it was like I wanted things between me and this dude to not be horrible.
Yeah.
within
I
any
enjoy it
interaction.
when Ryan pops off with anger. Ryan is really good at just screaming some crazy whatever at
Sierra,
somebody.
Do you have any
It's
stories of
so
me
funny.
screaming in school?
By
Yeah,
that laugh, yes.
dude,
there
it
were
was.
times you would hear, "Fuck!" go down the hallway, and then
It
you
was-
hear Miss pokes her head out, Ryan.
Like, he's this like tall, like lanky kid. You wouldn't expect much from him. He looks like a
Tall,
fucking
lanky
nerd. And and then you'd be in class, dude, and then they just throw some shit and just fuck and just lose his shit. We're like, Ryan, it's okay.
The fucking, I'd be like, God fucking damn it! And Sierra'd be like, what? And I'm like, it'd be some stupid shit that happened on Twitter. I'd be like, this fucking thing happened, and Sierra's like, oh, that sucks. And then she'd look,
just like
she'd look away like it wouldn't matter, and then I'd look at her like, the fuck? This matters.
This matters.
you were so upset over it.
And you're like, you would talk sense into me. You'd be like, Ryan, you don't know any of these people on Twitter. You're literally just. And I was like, I know, but it's bullshit. And you're like, I get it, fam. You need to like not though.
You need to like not. Bro.
That's the thing. Okay, in middle school and high school, I was the stereotypical like stoner who didn't give a shit, literally slept through class. Like I was that kid. So when he'd lose his shit and he'd wake me up from my fucking nap, I'm like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
You good?
Or,
Dude, shut the hell up.
or she'd be in class and I'd see her, and I'd be like, And then that's I wouldn't make a noise. I wouldn't say Sierra or any of it. It'd just be a yell. And then she'd fucking look at me and be like, fuck you. And that's all you'd get. Because I'd wake her up or something.
I'll do that to people outside of my school because my school has 2 hallways and that's it.
Yeah.
We had
we have
our
a
whole
common
school was
room
like
and
a
2
fucking
hallways.
Square, fucking cube-ass fucking cube-ass school, but yeah, it's cool. We had some fucking funny stories. There's times where people, I didn't. Here, I got another one. One time in art class, we had paint that looks really realistically like blood. And it was cool.
Oh God, I can already see this coming out.
It was cool, but then if you mixed it with a little bit of dark green, it would make it look more real. And I put a lot on my hand, and then to get to the buses quicker. In last period, I went down to Sierra's class, and she was in art, and I put red paint on my hands, and then when the bell rang, I pretended like I was in a curry and I was holding my hand, and that's how I got to the buses quicker because everybody got out of the fuck door like, oh my God, let him up, go, oh my God, dude, why are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, just let me, and then I'd get on the bus and I'd sit down and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, this is fake. And they're like, why? They're like, what do you mean it's fake? I'm like, this is paint. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like, because I could get to the front faster.
Rubbed it across your hand and that was it. Just and then start running down your wrist and shit.
I have a funny story from art too. One of my friends, this was back in middle school. One of my friends decided to, hey, let's make a skull. Let's make a clay sculpture. And I was like, okay, what do you want to make? And he's like, I'm gonna make a penis. He flat out. He made this thing like 10 foot tall, and I was like,
made Moby huge.
So I was like, what are you gonna do with that? And he's like, watch me. He grabs the whole thing, shaft and balls, and just completely spears it through the roof.
Oh my God.
So the best part in the end was when we graduated from middle school.
Down.
It still was up on the ceiling.
Dude, I think my favorite fucking story from art was when it was like me, Ryan, Zach, and a couple of our other friends were talking about porn.
Yeah.
Specifically hentai.
Yeah. Go on.
And the popular, there's the popular kids, and then there's us, the fucking weird kids that no one wants to go anywhere near. And we're just talking about porn. And all the popular kids are getting fucking pissed and whispering to each other. And then one of them turns around and they're just like, hey, can you stop? We're like, stop what?
Can you
stop? And the teacher's like, yeah, stop what? We're super concerned. And they're talking about porn.
I looked at
no, it's
I looked at and I was like, you're not. I'm doing this. I'm gonna do this. And
we're talking about hentai.
You're not. I'm gonna do this.
They're talking about tentacle porn, and I was like, "Excuse me, what?" And I was like, "Tentacle porn was never mentioned."
Yeah, I was like, we're talking about hentai here. Where'd you get tentacle porn? And then Sierra turns around and she's fucking livid. She's like, "Who the fuck?" She was upset with the fact that they thought hentai was tentacle porn, and she's like, you
I
fucking
almost threw
idiot.
cake
I'm
at
like,
this kid.
She was mad because this kid didn't know what actual hentai
I
was.
lost my shit. I literally told him, I was like, okay, kid, let me fucking educate you. I was like, hentai is any fucking animated porn. Tentacle porn has to involve tentacles, and it can either be animated or fucking hyper-realism. Get your fucking shit right.
I want to take this into consideration. That was quote for quote basically what she said.
Yeah.
She essentially.
That was cool.
This is. I can give you a quick rundown. It was, you know nothing. I hate you. fuck you. And that was basically, that was her intention
I
with her
literally almost
explanation.
You know what I mean? I hate
There was
you.
a bottle of paint in front of me, and I was on the verge of just chucking it at his
She
fucking
went
head.
from like casually talking about hentai while painting or doing whatever the fuck she was doing to suddenly turning around being like, I'm gonna fuck your shit up.
I was screaming across the fucking art room.
Oh my
And it was funny because I remember when that happened, it was clearly not a fucking situation that needed to be dialed down. It was just a situation, and Sierra is popping off, and goes, okay, let's calm down. And then you turned and you went, sorry. And I looked, I said, sorry. And then we looked at each other and we kept talking about porn.
Sorry. And you just go back to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
'cause
apologize. It's fine.
It's like, I apologize. We didn't apologize to the fucking normie piece of shit. But
In my school, we have the worst security guard I've ever seen in my life. Right. Dude's a douchebag, right?
yeah.
He is this like 48-year-old fat bald bastard who doesn't do a damn thing, right?
Okay.
This year they gave him a desk by the front door. Now it's a very dinky desk.
Dinky desk.
He's about double the size of it, right? And they gave him a desk by the front door simply for the fact that he wasn't next to the front door enough. He's the security guard. That's the
you're-
only door we're allowed to go in and out of.
You're telling me that he didn't want to stand by the door, so they gave him a desk?
He didn't want to stand by the door and he didn't do it enough, so they made him a desk next to the door. Now, I don't know what paperwork he would ever do. I don't know if he does paperwork, but he's got a desk there.
That's odd.
And basically, our school is on a street that is very we get homeless people and tweakers that walk in a lot, right?
Oh,
Now,
like, we had like 3 last year come
Yeah,
in, right?
3 last year. Now,
Yeah.
of the
Wait,
3
just
last year,
walk in?
he stopped 0
Yes.
of them. Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
they walk in. Yeah, they,
And
just
they
walk
just
in, check the
casually-
fridge.
Yeah, so one of them actually was super smart while tweaking and decided to check the fridge first, grabbed a muffin, tried to steal money from our cash register, and then decided to walk all the way to the back of our school.
And he got that far.
He
Okay,
got
what?
so far
Did he get
Yeah.
money
when
out
he was
or did not?
hot. Oh yeah, he got ones.
I want
Wow.
to put it, our security guard didn't do anything. He was upstairs eating a sandwich.
What
Yeah,
a
he was-
fucking asshole!
Oh yeah. He did
He's
not know.
very good at what he does.
So now his desk is right in front of the door, so that
Yeah,
he
and-
is there for security.
He's not
Okay,
really
real
good
quick,
at that.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my headphones shit out on me, so I had to switch over to my boyfriend's.
Oh good.
Fucking gay,
So-
gay dab.
Basically, he's also a very kind of a douchebag. He put a fence at the front of our school, and the reason he said he did that was because you don't take shortcuts in life. And I looked at him and I go, "The hell we don't." So I
that's
hopped
to
the
make life
fence.
easier.
So I hopped the fence.
No, Colby. Get a pair of. No, I'm not. I'm influencing teenagers. I can't say this. I'm giving bad people good ideas.
Ryan, are you serious?
Fair point.
You're stopping it now?
So it wasn't me. For the record, it was
Sure.
not me.
Uh-huh.
I assisted.
Uh-huh.
It was not me. I didn't do it. Colby did it.
Hypothetically.
Grab like pliers and then like cut out like kind of like in Payday. You know how they create like little gates? Do that.
Cut a hole.
Yeah, do
Oh
that.
my
Just do that. You want to cut?
Yes.
You want to cut through it? Just fucking lift it, go under,
And
and
the
then put,
chain link fence.
just cut
Literally,
it. so
it's
that
not
you-
even up to my hip.
Yeah, dude, it's so low.
It's not even up to my hip.
Yeah, it's so low.
I
So
could
you-
walk over it.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I was gonna say if it's like a big chain link fence, I was gonna be
No,
like, just
no,
make,
you
make,
walk over
make a
it.
clipped gate.
Yeah.
Just make a gate.
Build your
Yeah.
own like gate and everything.
Yeah,
Just
man. And then you, like, because then like you could also like clip it in a specific way that you could rehook it around the gate,
yeah.
and then it's like the gate's not really fucked up
Mm-hmm.
or the fence.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But watch if he catches him doing that. Ooh, I don't know what he's.
Oh,
I've
dude,
hopped the fence before.
I actually couldn't
And-
think of what he would do because it would be nothing.
I've hopped the fence before, and then he comes out the front door and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to not do that anymore." And I look at him and I go, "That's the most respectful thing you've ever said to me. I'll abide." And the history teacher comes up behind him and goes, "No, walk all the way around campus." And I look at him and I go, "Huh?
Huh?
You want me to do what?" And he goes, "Walk all the way around." And I go, "Okay." So I walk around, hop the fence again.
7-Eleven.
See you at 7-Eleven.
I go to the
See you at
7-Eleven and
7-Eleven.
I'd come back. That's what happened. And if the teacher's like, "Why were you late?" I'd be like, "I was too busy walking campus."
The history teacher told me.
No, I go to the college campus. I'm walking campus, dick.
I'd walk in a circle. He'd be like, walk around campus," and I'd walk in like a circle. And I'd be like, "Just did it."
Our campus is that small. I
Dude,
just did it.
It was funny for like, there'd be times where teachers would be like, "Go and do that," and then, like, as a 16-year-old, you're not like at a certain point you just don't. Like at a certain point,
I don't
you
want
just
to.
At a certain point, though, you're gonna hop the fence, and they're gonna go walk all the way around campus, and you're gonna say no, and you're gonna walk right past them, like, cause you got shit to do. I gotta get the fuck to class. I don't need you to teach me some sort of dumbass principle about hopping a fucking fence.
And or getting food.
Nah, dude, you could just
I'm
go out
going
there
to
and
do my
fucking.
thing.
Colby could
Leave me
hop the
alone.
fence to be a fucking asshole, and as far as I'm concerned, that teacher should fuck right on off. Go do your job. Why are you bullying a kid? Go teach history.
Before I
He
started
bullies
going to
everybody.
Putnam, it was like the summer before I started going there, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna go there or not, so I didn't fucking give a shit. And I was smoking a couple girls out under the fucking bleachers, and it was their first time smoking, so they weren't being the smartest. And this like sports coach.
Why do you always
came
get stuck
and-
with these fucking people that have never done it before? That tell you that they've done it before?
Cause they see me doing it, cause I don't really care who sees, and they're just like, "Oh my god, you're so cool, you
They're
should
like,
smoke me out."
it's so
And I'm
easy,
like,
you should do it, and then
"Okay."
you smoke them out, and then they die.
Yeah, and like straight up, these bitches were like dying fucking coughing because I brought my massive bong, and this fucking, I think he was like a football coach or some shit, or wrestling some shit.
Fat bastard.
He like, yeah, that bastard. He like heard us, and he like came around the corner, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like the bleachers were like fenced off. There was this little
I
hole
literally
in the fence.
dead
And he
ass
came
of him.
over, and he like looked into the fence, and he's, "Hey, I can see you." And I looked over and looked him dead in the eyes and took a fat bong rip.
And go,
He
"Okay."
got so fucking pissed off, and he like fucking yelled at us to come out, or he was gonna call cops. So we came out, and he was just like, "Hey, yeah, so what high school do you go to?" And honestly, I didn't know if I was going to this high school, so just fuck with him. I was just like, "Here." And he was just like,
Here.
"Alright, well, I'm gonna keep an eye on you." And I was like,
Here.
"Alright, cool." And then I
you probably
fucking
won't
like,
see me.
like a month later, I'm fucking walking through the hallways, and I see him, and he fucking gives me this death glare, and I'm like, "Oof, okay."
You still
Whatever,
remember me?
I never got in trouble with drugs at school. I was never a drug kid in school.
Well, legally I'm not, so
Colby's
I'm fine.
Colby doesn't. He's a good boy. He does his homework.
I did drugs
Nah,
at
I
school,
don't
but
know-
I
I
rarely
don't know
actually got in
that one.
trouble.
I don't get in trouble often.
I get in trouble for shit that I know I shouldn't be doing. So it's like, why is he doing it? Oh, because it doesn't fucking matter. It's like, why shouldn't he be doing it? Oh, because of this dumb, stupid fucking rule that was put in place fucking years ago that nobody pays attention to or gives a shit about anymore. Oh, that's why. Okay, he did it out of principle. He's an asshole. Like,
Yeah. See, I
That-
broke
that
the
reminds
real
me.
rules, but those were the ones that I didn't get caught for. I got caught for
Yeah.
like showing too much skin or some shit. I never got
Oh, that's
caught
dumb.
for like.
Yeah, I know. Those are all dumb.
which fucking Sierra would just come to fucking school with like the spaghetti noodle fucking straps, and that'd be it. And then they'd be like, "You need to go home," and she's like, "Fuck you! I'm wearing a shirt."
Yeah.
I kind of dressed like a slut. I'd like walk in wearing nothing but a sports bra. They'd be like, "Hey, you need to like put on a shirt." I'm like, "This is a shirt," and they're like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "I found it with the shirts." They're like, "No, that's not a shirt." And
I
I'm like,
bought it
"It
in the
works.
shirt
My
section."
lights are covered, right?"
I bought it
It's okay because I'm a whore. Yeah.
Like, dude. And like I tell them, I'm like, dude, it's hot as fuck outside. You think I'm gonna fucking wear a real shirt? And they're like, well, you know, you should since you're at school. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'll go home then.
Okay, bye, lol.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to think of a good story.
My school got vending machines.
Yeah, we just recently
We
got
have
vending machines.
And the first thing I thought when I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna tip that over before the end of the year.
God damn it.
I'm tipping that over before the end of the year.
Which one? Which one?
Oh, the one with the like chips.
Oh, near room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta hope
Yeah,
to
no, I'm
God your
tipping that
fucking
over.
security guard doesn't ever fucking hear this, because then he knows when you're gonna do it.
Doesn't know when.
He's gonna be like, all right, by the end of this year, and then he's gonna keep an eye on that specific vending machine, and that's when you get the other one.
No, he just keeps his constant eye on me.
Yeah, he just
has
keeps a
a
constant eye on him.
Colby.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. He constantly looks at me like he's fully ready for me to do something I shouldn't, which most of the time he just doesn't know I'm doing it.
Colby's constantly prepared to do something he shouldn't be doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Colby's constantly ready to be like, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Literally, I love having the mindset of somebody going, "Hey, I'll give you $1 if you do this," and I'm already doing it.
Colby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He does it. He does it.
Fucking security guards are
happily.
always fucking watching me like that. I got kicked out of a rave the other night.
You got kicked out of a rave? How do you get
yeah.
kicked out of a rave?
How?
So it was at like a legitimate
What do you
venue.
mean? It's fucking Sierra.
Yeah, it was at a legitimate venue.
She was tripping on
And I
like
was-
straight LSD the whole time.
Shit, I was so okay. At the beginning of the night, my friends and I got this like we called it. It was supposed to be, but it
Oh.
definitely was not. But we did it anyways because we didn't want to waste our money.
Definitely wasn't.
And then we did some real. And then we went to the rave. And then I
Oh.
was like, I danced around for a bit. So we were sitting on this couch, and I was doing, and I'd
Mhm.
like, and so I just obviously did mine, and then tried to give my boyfriend one. I'm not even sure if he actually like was able to do his before he noticed the security guard, and told us there was one. And then I think I tried to do another one and just looked up to a flashlight being shined in my face, and I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Oh damn. All right. Anyway, I'll leave.
Just simply just
Yeah, I was like I'll let myself out.
I'll let me.
Sierra's like,
I've had that happen
"Shit,
before.
You got me," and then she just kind of
I've
slowly
been-
picks up her shit and walks away.
I mean, my boyfriend told us that there was a security guard. Like, he saw the security guard pass us and saw him like checking us out, and he was like, "This guy's watching us hard." But I think the thing is, he told me that the security guard was on our left when the security guard was on our right, and so I was like, "All right, as long as I've got my left side covered, I'm fine." So I've got my right side in plain
Jacob.
fucking view. Okay, he was than I was.
All right, then never mind.
That is not his fault.
I've been trespassing before, and I was just like sitting there drinking like a Rockstar or something like that, and I just see a security guard walking and looking at me from like 40 feet away, and I just go, "Oh man, I really don't want to leave."
Oh man.
And so I wave at him, and he doesn't wave back. So I really
I
get the idea. I have to leave.
Hate that shit is when you there's sometimes where I'll wave at a cop and a cop waves back and you're like, all right, sick, this is the type of, yeah, hi, and then
Right.
and then there's that one cop where you wave at him and he just kind of looks at you and then kind of like
Yeah.
he knows you waved at him, he acknowledged you waved at him, but he still just kind of looks at you and you're like, all right, I hope you get shot.
I hate when you wave at them and they give you that little like head nod.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Okay, kid. And you're like, wow.
Well,
Thanks.
I think that's different for some guys though, because anytime I got a head nod, I think of like a fucking cowboy tipping his hat. So
Well, yeah, but like, there's
I think
like,
of
the
gangsters
cool
going,
head
"What up,
nod.
homie?"
There's like the cool head nod, but then there's
There's
the one
the-
where they
there's
just
the
kind of look at
authority
you like,
nod.
yeah, I know, yeah,
or
the
either
authority
no.
nod.
There's a large difference between doing a head nod down and doing a head nod up. right?
Right.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
head nod up is like, "What's up?" But a head nod down is like, "I acknowledge."
Yeah.
That's it. It's-
I think if I got a head nod up from a cop, I think I'd be a little bit more concerned.
A little bit.
I know, I feel that though.
Because then
it's a hard one up, homie.
Like you walk into a bank and you look at a cop and you wave at him and he gives you a head nod up, you're thinking, at least with me, I'm thinking, hey, if there's a bank robber, you got me, right? And I'm like, fuck no. Like that's what I think. But that's just me. He's like, yo, you got me if we need this. I'm like, nah, you're the cop. Fuck that. I don't know. That's just me though.
sir.
I don't know. Anytime a cop is on a friendly basis with me, I'm like, all right, what the fuck do you want? Because I know
Right.
you're a
Panic
cop. I know
mode.
you're a cop, but you're still a fucking human, which means you're gonna want something in return.
Yeah.
You go into panic mode, just I don't know what to do.
Ryan, did I ever tell you the story about the guy that got lit on fire inside Denny's?
Oh, and then
I
also-
got into an argument with about that. There was a guy in, I don't know if it was a Denny's. But anyway, go on.
It was
Sorry.
the Denny's across the street from my school.
Yeah, and also a car plowed
Was it-
through
yeah,
it.
Was it? Didn't he get set on fire in a booth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
guy
I got-
literally just walked up to him and set him on fire.
I go into
Yeah,
fucking
He
class.
doused him in gasoline, then set him on fire.
I go into
Yeah.
class and this thing's obviously being talked about, and I was like, fucking. I wasn't word that it was a Denny's. I was told it was a bar. But when
Huh?
I was told
No,
it
no,
was
he had
couldn't-
multiple attacks.
It couldn't. I was gonna say it could be fucking a million fucking things.
Dude,
Anyways,
he had multiple attacks. He did one in a bar, one in a Denny's, and
Oh,
then he did
fuck.
like one more, and then they finally got him.
damn. So this
when
probably
I originally heard about the Denny's one, I heard that he was at the bar in the Denny's.
He's a serial arsonist,
Anyway,
basically.
Zach told me, he's like, yeah, a dude got set on fire in a booth at like a bar. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, a booth? What do you mean a booth? I was like a phone booth? He's like, no, like a booth. And I was like, what do you fucking mean a booth? Like, cause I was,
seating booth.
Zach did not say that. When I was thinking booth,
Well, you
I'm
think
thinking
booth.
phone booth. I'm thinking Superman. I'm thinking
Who?
booth.
In this generation, where do you
I'm
see
thinking-
a phone booth?
I'm
Ryan.
thinking.
Come on.
There are. I don't know. I was thinking he got locked inside a phone booth and then they set it on fire
Then
because
set on fire.
that makes sense. You can't. You're trapped. You're fucked. Hear me out. Hear me out. That's why I'm thinking efficiency.
I'm thinking of fish.
I'm thinking efficiency. I'm thinking, oh, if he's in a fucking seating booth, he can just get up and walk out. If he's in a phone booth, he's fucked. He's dead.
That is
Absolutely.
literally dying.
So Zach was like, what do you fucking mean a phone booth, Ryan? I'm like, what do you fucking mean a booth, you fucking cunt? And then the teacher comes over and she goes, are we done? I said, are you done? I'm done. And then I pulled up 50 Shades Grey and kept reading.
I don't remember that specific conversation, but I remember those conversations between you and like it was our literacy teacher. I don't fucking remember.
She
her
asked if we
name,
were
but,
done,
like,
and I said, "Are you done?" Because I am, and that was. I said because I was mad at
That's
the
what I
argument.
would
Then
always
it was me and always argued about the stupidest shit. It's just how fucking acts. You just.
Argumentative.
It's 'cause
No,
he's
not
argumentative.
He starts them. He starts them, and then he doesn't like to argue because he
just-
gets scared.
It's like he says something to make himself like I guess on a high horse, and then you catch him in it, and then he gets defensive. And then you're like, all right, you're being offensive, which means I gotta be offensive. Fuck you. And then it's like, so then you get into this argument, and then at the end of the argument, you're mad at because he's doing the same shit
You've
that he
made
always
zero
fucking
progress.
does. He's doing the same shit that he does millions of fucking times throughout the day, and he got you again in this fucking anger loop. And then you're like, you know what? Fuck you and fuck you. And then you point at and you tell him fuck you, and then you point at your literacy teacher and you tell her to go fuck herself.
Dude, she'd always like we'd all end up yelling, and then like the second it went quiet, she'd be like, "Are you guys done?" Like, can we fucking continue
Yes,
with
Doug.
class now?
It's like we'd
My math
finish.
teacher does
Just as
that.
sick of you guys as I was.
She would finish, and then she'd be like, "Can I keep going?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
there were times where she'd get really under my skin with that. And she'd be like, "Can I keep going?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. Can you? Can we keep going after that? Are we done? Can I go home?" And she'd be like, "Ryan, do you need,
all
do you need to
right.
leave?" I'm like, "No. What do you mean? Am I done?" And then I'd get into this whole long tangent, and then I'd be like, "Just keep." She'd be like, "Do you need to go to the office?" And I'd be like, "No, you can keep
Maybe.
teaching. I'm done." And then that'd be the end of it. We'd keep going.
No,
I don't
alright,
think
so
I've
I have.
seen you lose your shit more than you did in literacy class.
That bitch pissed me the fuck off. I have no other argument. There's like a couple of people in this world that piss me off. Which was absolutely one of them.
That was the bitch's name.
Dude, that sounds like an actual they're like, hey.
I know a miss. He's a welder. He teaches welding.
No, this lady.
God,
Dude,
I go
Mr.
so
Webb.
bad. I go so bad with that name. I'm sorry.
Colby, I'm gonna give you one of the subjects that we had, and I'm
Is
just
it
gonna
tickle bitties?
no, I'm just gonna base it off of the type of person you are with the answer that I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna hope to God that I get what I want.
Okay.
She had us do an assignment based off of how protesting was effective.
Huh?
Okay.
So basing it off of the person
Okay,
that I think
everyone
Colby,
pause.
I think Colby is the type of person to think protesting is not very effective. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you. I think protesting isn't very effective. I think in some cases
No.
it can be very effective, but I think that in
it
most
has
cases,
been, but no.
Yeah.
to say it has been isn't to say that it works
It is.
consistently.
It just so happened it worked out one time. That's
One
it.
twime. One twime.
Shut up, Shaw. Let me be funny, you absolute douchebag.
Yeah, no. She. So I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, I can't do this, and she's like, why? I'm like, because I don't think protesting's effective, and she goes, well, you're wrong, and I sat there for a minute, and I was like, I'm wrong. And she's like, yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then I was quiet the rest of the, like, something's wrong. Sierra,
Ryan's quiet.
you know something's wrong when I'm not being a fucking asshole. You know that when I'm in class, I'm dead silent. If I'm dead silent, either I'm sad or I'm angry or you did something wrong. The teacher did something
Literally,
wrong.
that's how I am.
So I was quiet the whole rest of the period, and I went into office. I was like, I want that bitch's fucking job. I was so mad. I was calm. I was calm the whole period. 40 minutes of just being like, yep, yep, and or even just pure fucking silence, which is hard for me. Go back, and I was. You could hear, I guarantee she fucking heard me from her goddamn classroom. She heard me scream, I want that bitch's fucking job. I was fucking livid.
Dude, she was
Irate.
fucking
I was
Okay, she wouldn't make you write about your opinion on a subject. She would state her opinion on the subject and have you write an essay fucking proving it. Lois got
Gross.
so sick of that
Or
shit. Like, you straight up tell her.
pull her opinion from your head and say it's your opinion.
Yeah. And you do
What?
like I saw you do that multiple times where you were just like, I'm not doing this because I don't agree with it, and she's like, well, you have to. And
She
you're
was
like,
like, well,
no,
then you
go fuck
failed. And I
yourself.
was like, and it's funny because I looked at the criterias that we needed, and it was like, I met all of them. Like, it's like, it would be like, talk about how protesting's good. It's like, instead of talking about how protesting's good, we have to talk about how you could talk about any other form of protesting. And I thought about how I was writing about how I was protesting her essay with the essay. And I had met all the criteria thing, and she didn't want to grade it because of what I had written on it.
Yeah,
Which wasn't anything bad. I was just like, I was like, here's my protest and how it's going to be effective in my grade. And I wrote, and I was like,
Here's my protest, your protest. Bitch.
yeah, I was like, sometimes, I was like, I wrote about how ineffective it is to protest against a protest. And she was like, well, we're not talking about the ineffectiveness. And I was like, okay, then I'll talk about how effective it would be. And I was like, I pissed my teacher off by not doing the assignment correctly. I was like,
Wasn't very effective.
I was like, I wasted I was like, me making this essay was a waste of time, and I believe that very strongly, and that wasn't a very effective, and it was me taking time to do this, to give it to her, and her not grading it is very much a protest, because as soon as she gave it back to me saying she didn't want to grade it, I then continued to write on it. I gave it back, made her grade it. The fact that you have to tell a teacher to grade a fucking student's paper because of what is on the paper is childish horse shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I would like to say I have a math teacher, right? He's
Oh,
a very
God.
he's a very high-strung individual. He's also a goddamn child.
Yup,
so-
I know who you're talking about.
So basically, he would like he's a very fun. He's a funny guy. He's
a
an easygoing
clown.
guy.
He's a
from
clown.
time to time. Yeah. He's a bald bearded dude, and he always has fun making connections with
Mhm.
students. Now, he really hates it when you have a small conversation in class. Now,
Mhm.
I sit at a table with a group of friends, and there's only 12 people in our whole class, right?
You win fifth
So
period.
of course, yeah. So
Okay.
of course, I'm gonna cause a whole ruckus.
Of course.
So I'll have like a whole laughing fit with my friend about something. And he'll think it's funny too. And then he'll just pause and look at us and go, "Can I go back to teaching class now?" And I hate
so
it.
he'd
I
agree
hate it
with you,
so
think it's
much.
funny, and then afterwards be like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
And then I never know how to respond, but thanks to Ryan, I do now.
oh god.
Dude,
Giving
fucking
people
Ryan.
good ideas.
Ryan, do you remember that one substitute teacher who subbed for that one time?
The
And
one-
she was like,
Was it the one that I showed the cow porn of?
What?
possibly?
Excuse me?
Was
She was the one
did
who
she have-
I was the reason she never taught at that school again. Cause I straight up like had a full-on argument with her.
What,
she was,
what
you know,
color
she's the
was her
sub.
hair? I can't remember.
I think it was brown. I remember she's kind of a
Oh.
like big girl.
No, I heard about that though. I heard about a substitute that refuses to come back to New Urban, and it was because of a girl.
Yeah.
I now know it is because of Sierra. That is
Okay,
fucking
dude.
amazing.
I
I'm
lost
so
my shit on her.
happy that I'm your friend. I cherish this friendship because
She
I
was
find
being
shit out
a
about
fucking
you.
slut.
It's amazing. Dude, no, I
like
heard-
how-
we heard screaming, yelling,
Yeah, that was.
crying.
I made her cry.
There were times in the story that there were this girl. She made this substitute cry. She said she's never coming back, and then I'm like, "Fuck, our school is horrible."
Our school is
That's what I
horrible.
said. I was in Snyder's class. I was like, God, our school is horrible. It's fucking Sierra.
Okay, so can I just point something out real quick? I like how the first episode of 2 is all about school.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's what we
we've
do.
talked about this entire
Well,
time.
it's just more or less just bitching.
We're just sitting here talking mad shit about like everybody.
Right. I mean, I've got so many fucking stories from high school. I was the child from hell. Like,
Act.
honestly,
believe
I'm
it.
surprised there were teachers who liked me. Like, my math teacher straight up told me that I was the sweetest student he ever had. But,
Which teacher was
Also-
that?
but okay,
Well, okay,
I
but
felt
Mr.
bad for
is
this guy.
fucking nuts. Okay, let's be honest.
felt bad for this guy.
I love Mr. He's nuts.
Yeah, he was such a sweetheart. He was a little bit not all the way there, but he was a sweetheart. And he always said, "Oh yeah, if you guys behave all week, I will buy you treats at the end
Yeah,
of the
he'd
week."
bring us
He bought
food.
us- He'd bring us food at the end of the
What?
week regardless,
he'd
even though
fucking-
people were shit to him.
People would treat him like shit, but our grades would be good, and he'd stay with his word. But it was funny because Mr. Dude, if I could go back to New Urban to this day and be like, "Hey, Mr. Byrne, you were an awesome teacher," I would do it every fucking day.
Dude, I
just
told
to
him.
tell
I always
him.
told him he was an awesome teacher, especially when he'd bring the treats. And everyone, regardless of the fact that they're fucking pieces of shit, and he brought them anyways, they'd help themselves, fucking stuff their faces, and then complain that it was shit.
And yeah, so
And they would complain
What?
so
they'd be like,
fucking hard.
you should get these ones. You should get these ones next
Yeah,
time.
they're like, why didn't you get these ones? What the fuck is this fucking garbage?
And
And
Mr.
he's like,
That's
I'm
BS.
sorry. He's like, I'm sorry, I only have so much money. Like, I hope you guys understand. They're like,
I hate
"No,
it when he
it's
brought
not
up financial
fucking okay."
shit. When was like, I only have so much money. I was like, you're already a fucking teacher and have a wife and kids. Stop.
He was so nice about it. He's like, I'm sorry. I wish I could get you what you guys want,
It
but
was like
I can
he-
only really afford this. And they'd be like, oh yeah, nice fucking excuse.
It was
And,
What
like,
the hell?
they were
dude,
rude.
The kids were
And I would always like
horrible.
go up and like, you know, they always like help themselves and stuff their faces, and I'd go up and I was like the timid kid, and I was just like, hey, can I have some like bear claws? And he's like, yeah, you don't have to ask. And I'm like, cool, thanks. Can I have some croissants too? And he's like, yeah, you don't have to ask. And I'm like, cool, can I have that
There were
that
times
one
where
pastry? I don't know what it is. And at one point he stopped me. He was like, okay, you are the sweetest kid I have ever fucking taught.
Sierra
Thank you
asked me,
so
she's
much.
like, you should ask Mr. can have that. And I was like, I can just go get it. And she's like, I mean, yeah, you could. And I was like,
Because like,
fine.
I
And then
didn't
I walked
give
out, I was
a
like,
shit
hey,
when
can
it came
Sierra
to the
have
rude
a...
teachers.
I was like, can Sierra have that? And was like, she always asks.
I was a little
always
fucking
asks.
shit to the rude teachers, but like Mr. I fucking felt for him. Like, he was such a sweetheart, even though every fucking kid treated him like shit. And there was this one chick, she was a total cunt to him every day. And Mr. never even made you do work. Like, he'd kind of
Yeah,
be like,
if you
hey,
didn't
do
want to
you feel
work,
like
he wouldn't
doing
make you
work
do
today?
work. He'd be like, hey, do you feel like doing work
Yeah.
today? And if you were like, nah, he'd be like, all right, how about tomorrow? And then he'd be like, I don't know, let's see how I feel tomorrow. And then he'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he'd fuck off for the rest of the 40 minutes or help some other kids that actually need it. Because if
Yeah.
there were days, also, if you came in and I was like, hey, I'm like going through some shit, he'd be like, oh, okay, all right, fuck off for a day. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. And
Oh,
this chick,
I thought you were gonna go totally different with that. Like I thought you was gonna go like one-on-one conversation. Like, yeah, what's up? What's going on?
Nah, he'd ask. He'd be like, "Is there anything I can do?" And if you were like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
could talk
Yeah.
about it," he'd be like, "All right, cool." He'd listen for like a fucking whatever. I talked to him
Yeah.
about a lot of personal shit, and he never really gave advice back, because I feel like he couldn't as a teacher, but
that's
he-
one thing I really liked about him, though, honestly.
Yeah,
'Cause
he kind of
if I'm
just stuck
venting
to
someone,
himself.
Yeah, if I'm venting to someone, I don't fucking want advice because I already know what I'm gonna do about the situation. I just need to be emotional for a second and have somebody listen to me rant. And that's why, like, if I'm venting to somebody, I don't even expect them to listen. Like,
Be a pillow. Don't
Sometimes-
say
Exactly.
anything. Don't move. Just stay there and let me speak.
If Sierra's going through some shit, I'll be like, "What's up?" And then she'll send me a wall of text, and I guarantee you, she doesn't send it with the intention of me reading it. Sometimes
no,
she just
not at
sends
all.
it. She just puts it
Like,
somewhere. And I
at one
read
point
it,
I was
and I'm like, oh,
venting-
I'm sorry, fam. But it's like, she
Right.
doesn't send things to you for you to read it. See, she sends it so she can get it out.
She
yeah,
just
at one
vents.
point, I
Yeah.
was like venting to my boyfriend, and he was super high, and he like felt bad, and he like kind of like he was zoned out, and he like kind of came back to reality, and he was like, "I'm sorry, like I didn't hear anything you just said," and I was like, "That's okay, I wasn't expecting you to listen." He was like, "Oh, okay," and I was like, "Yeah, the only time I expect you to listen to me when I'm upset is if I'm upset with you." So
Damn. Dude, there were times I've done that. It's totally a boyfriend male thing that is horrible that I need to learn out of. After being with a woman for so long, I'm not gonna say names.
Say names.
After some time had passed, I kind of picked up this trick of like not listening. And I'll be honest with
I'm
you,
really good at that.
it-
I'm really good at that.
at a certain point, I'll hear someone start like, I'll hear like fucking my boss or someone start talking, and I'll be on my phone. I would normally listen, and now I don't. I don't give a fuck. It's like whatever. It's like whatever you have to tell me is either not important. If you're letting me look at my phone while I'm doing it, clearly you don't really need. If you need direct eye contact, I need to remember this. But it's like, what? I was fucking talking to like a girl I met on fucking Discord, and halfway through a conversation, I just checked the fuck out. And I felt bad. I knew what she was talking about, but it was like 1 second I'm there and another second I'm not. 10, 20 minutes pass and she's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Dude, I feel that. I have that conversation with my manager all the time because he'll like, I don't know, this guy just talks about random shit sometimes, and he'll just go on, and then like, and like, I'll be knowing, like, I know what he says, but it's taking a minute to process because I'm not completely paying attention, and then like, he'll like stop talking, and then I realize he's stopped talking, I'm like, oh yeah, and then it processes, and then I can respond.
Yeah. Do you ever like when you're not listening to someone and they'll be like, you know what I mean? And you're like, yeah. And then you weren't listening to them and you totally just agreed to what they said and you want to know what they just said. So you're like, wait, what did I just, what? Like, because
What did I agree to?
it's some point
That's
in
kind
the...
of why I started saying hella. Like, one time I was just super drunk, and one of my friends was like venting to me, and like he just like vented and vented, and then he was just like, "Do you ever fucking feel that way sometimes?" And I was like, "Hella." Like that was the
Hella.
beginning of it. Was just that conversation. He was just like, "Do you like that feeling? Do you ever get that?" And I was like, "Hella."
That's one of my favorite
I
things that
was
Sarah
so-
says, by the way.
I was so fucked off and out of it. I still don't know what he said. I think it was something
still
about
don't know what he said.
shitty relationships.
It's like fucking, because I don't fucking give a shit what you're fucking talking to me about. If I agree to something, it's gonna be used against me at some point. I know it. At some point, Sierra's gonna be like, man, I just hate black people, am I right? I'm like, yeah, dude, totally get it, 100%. 10, 20 minutes later, Caesar's gonna join a call and be like, hey, Caesar, get out. We already agreed we don't like black people. Ryan agrees with me. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that's my number one fear with that sort of thing. It's because it's like, I don't know what I'm agreeing to, so I gotta make sure that I know what I'm listening.
Dude, I feel
screwed
that.
myself.
Or there was one time when this kid, luckily he wasn't a very good person, so I don't feel all that bad. But I was super. He had just given me a fat ass, and I was 100% like with the conversation. I knew what he was saying. I just had a reaction already set up, and I didn't think before changing my reaction.
Oh.
And he was just like, hey, can I tell you something? And, or, like, yeah, it was basically like, hey, can I tell you something? And I was like, yeah, sure, fucking go for it. And he was like, I'm schizophrenic. And I'm like, dope. High out of my mind, I'm just like, dope. Wait. That's not
Well,
dope.
Dope. Oh.
Dope. I'm schizophrenic. Dope.
Jesus fucking Christ, Sierra, how are you alive?
Like, I
Dude,
felt
it's 9:30.
so
We're cutting to my iCarly time.
I know, right?
God damn
I'm
it.
so upset. I designate time for iCarly.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Alright, so we'll wrap this episode up then.
All right.
Alright, thank you guys for popping in to the Season 2, Episode 1 of the TD Podcast. It has been Krowgar.
I'm lurking.
Side kitty.
And Token.